back your homes or restore your dead to life.
But perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our king.
Hey everyone, Game of Thrones just released their first official trailer for Season 7, and if you haven't got a chance to check it out, go ahead and watch it, and then come back to this video. Anyway, with all of the excitement for the new season, fans are speculating what comes next. The problem is, history is slowly repeating itself. The White Walkers are back, Daenerys is about to conquer Westeros just like her famous ancestor Aegon the Conqueror, Cersei is getting really comfortable with wildfire, just like the Mad King, the prophecy of Azor Ahai may be fulfilled sooner than later, and the hero could be a number of different people. Put simply, there is no shortage of historic events that help to set up the main plot of the story. And now that the end is near, a lot of theories, lore, and other information needs to be resolved, especially when it comes to White Walkers. So let's go back and look at a few of the biggest events in the known world's history. To start off, we have to mention prehistory. This is basically everything before what maesters have records for. The legend states the children of the forest and giants were the first to arrive in Westeros. Even though written records only date back about 6,000 years, it's commonly accepted that the children and the giants didn't really have serious problems until the first men invaded the land. Roughly 12,000 years ago, the first men came over from the east via the Arm of Dorne, meaning they walked from Essos over to Westeros without needing to jump into a boat to cross the narrow sea. Children were being slaughtered, weirwood trees were cut down, and frankly something needed to change. That's when the White Walkers were created. We learned from Leaf in Season 6 that the undead race was meant to protect the children and their sacred trees, but you see how that ended up. Somewhere between 6 and 8,000 years ago, a generation-long winter fell on Westeros, growing from the north. The winter is known as the Long Night. It was so harsh, most people died from the cold alone. Add that along with the deaths caused by White Walkers, and Westeros was very close to being completely taken over. So how did mankind manage to turn the tables on the undead army? Apparently, it all ended with the Battle for the Dawn, a last-effort charge initiated by the original members of the Night's Watch, and possibly with the help of Azor Ahai. Like I said before, everything that happened prior to the Andal invasion is based off of songs and stories that are told to young children. This is why many maesters question what really happened during this time. Speaking of songs, there is one about the Long Night that is sometimes sung in the north. It's known as the Night That Ended, and in A Clash of Kings, someone started singing it at a Winterfell feast. Right as the singer gets to the part where the Night's Watch rides out to meet the others, a member from House Umber blows a horn and distracts everyone. What's really strange about this is we don't know what it really takes to defeat the White Walkers. I mean, we've seen both Valyrian Steel and Dragonglass do a great job of eliminating single enemies in combat, but when it comes to defeating all of the Night King's forces, it would be good to know what worked during the original Long Night. I find it quite odd that George R.R. Martin wrote in a distraction during the singer's performance. When the author does that, it's usually for a reason. So I wonder if there will be some big reveal during the Great War, letting fans in on the secret to bringing the dawn. Either way, I definitely believe it's something to look out for, because it's obviously going to take more than just brute force to end the Night King's wrath. Otherwise, why would they be back in the first place? I have a crazy feeling there will be an ultimate sacrifice, possibly Jon or Dany, or even maybe Bran. One of them could be the last hero, and give their life to save the world. I could be completely wrong here, but I think there is a reason we don't know what truly ended the Long Night, and how it's going to be recreated during the Great War. After the White Walkers were driven north, the Wall was built. This is supposedly during the same timeline as the Age of Heroes. In fact, Bran the Builder is held responsible for the Wall's creation. We know all of these events occurred prior to the Andal invasion, which is dated right at 6,000 years ago. Fast forward all the way to the current timeline, and the White Walkers have returned after thousands of years. Dragons had been assumed extinct for over a century, and magic suddenly returned to the world. There wasn't a single issue with the undead until the prologue of A Game of Thrones. The year was 297 AC. AC just means after Aegon's conquest, so 1 AC would be 1 year after Aegon conquered Westeros. Anyway, ever since then, the threat has only gotten worse. Now, I skipped over tons of other historic events like the Doom of Valyria, the Blackfyre Pretenders, the Rhoynish Wars, and many others, but this is solely focusing on the White Walker timeline. Whatever else happened in the past involves skirmishes between humans, and not the monsters beyond the wall. As we move into Season 7, things are going to change. Yes, there will be plenty of coverage on the war between the Lannisters and all of their enemies, but the main narrative is quickly transitioning to the Great War. Soon, nothing will matter but winter, and the most important thing for the characters involved will be how to bring the dawn. It may be as simple as the reincarnation of Azor Ahai raising his fiery sword Lightbringer into the air, but like most things in Game of Thrones, it's probably more complicated than that. But I would love to hear your thoughts on the subject. That's going to do it for this video. If you enjoy timeline videos like this, please let me know and I will definitely make more. If you would like to support the channel, feel free to subscribe, and if you want to support us on Patreon, I'll leave the link in the description for that. As always, have a great day, take care, and I will see you tomorrow.